Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to explore some of the most unusual and surprising facts from world history that you might not have heard before. History is filled with strange events, quirky characters, and incredible stories that often get overlooked. So grab a snack and get comfortable as we dive into these fascinating historical tidbits. The Great Emu War. Let's kick things off with a quirky event from Australia known as the Great Emu War. In 1932, after World War I, many soldiers were given land in Western Australia to farm. However, they faced a big problem: emus. These large flightless birds began invading the farmlands, causing massive damage to crops. The government decided to send soldiers to combat the emu invasion, leading to an unusual conflict. Armed with machine guns, the soldiers attempted to cull the emu population, but the birds proved surprisingly resilient. They could easily outrun the soldiers, and after several unsuccessful attempts, the military eventually withdrew. Yes, that's right, Australia lost a war to emus. This even shows how sometimes nature can be a formidable opponent. The dancing plague of 1518. Next up is a bizarre incident from Strasbourg, then part of the Holy Roman Empire, known as the dancing plague of 1518. In July of that year, residents suddenly began to dance uncontrollably in the streets. It started with one woman, Frau Trophia, who danced for days without stopping. Soon dozens of others joined her, and some even danced to their deaths from exhaustion or heart attack. Local authorities were baffled. They believed that the dancers needed to dance it out, so they even hired musicians to encourage more dancing. Historians still debate what caused this phenomenon, with theories ranging from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning. A hallucinogenic mold found a damp rye. Regardless, it remains one of the strangest events in history. The shortest war in history. Let's move on to another unusual fact: the shortest war in history. This took place in 1896 between Britain and the Sultanate of Zanzibar. On August 27 of that year, when the Sultan died, his successor, Sultan Khalid, refused to step down and declare war against British, who were trying to establish control over the island. The conflict lasted only 38 minutes. The British bombarded the Sultan's palace, leading to a swift victory. The Sultan's forces suffered over 500 casualties, while the British had just one injured. This brief clash is a fascinating reminder of how quickly power dynamics can change. The first computer programmer. Now let's talk about women in history with an unusual fact about the first computer programmer. Most people might think of computer science as a modern field, but the first person to ever write an algorithm intended for implementation on a machine was a woman named Ada Lovelace in the mid-1800s. Ada Lovelace worked with Charles Babbage on his analytical engine, an early mechanical computer. She created an algorithm for calculating Bernoulli numbers, which makes her the world's first computer programmer. This shows how women have been crucial in fields that are often thought to be male-dominated. The Eiffel Tower can be 15 cm taller in the summer. Here is a surprising fact about engineering. The Eiffel Tower in Paris can actually grow taller during the summer. This happens because of the thermal expansion. When the metal heats up, it expands, and as a result, the tower can be up to 15 cm or about 6 inches taller on hot days. This means that the Eiffel Tower, a symbol of Paris, changes its height with the seasons. It's a remarkable example of how even man-made structures can be influenced by the natural world. Napoleon wasn't actually short. Next, let's burst a myth about one of the history's most famous figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. Many people believe he was short, but that's not entirely true. Napoleon was about 5 feet 6 inches tall, which was average for a Frenchman of his time. The misconception about his height likely comes from British propaganda, which portrayed him as shorter to diminish his stature as a leader. It's a classical example of how misinformation can shape historical narratives. The Library of Alexandria. Another unusual fact relates to one of the great libraries of the ancient world, the Library of Alexandria in Egypt. Founded in the 3rd century BCE, it aimed to collect all knowledge in the known world. It was said to house hundreds of thousands of scrolls containing works from many cultures. The library was a center of learning, but it faced multiple disasters over the centuries. Many believe it was destroyed in a series of events including fires and invasions. The loss of the library represents not just the destruction of knowledge but a profound loss for future generations, illustrating how fragile history can be. The unbelievable origins of the Olympic Games. Did you know that the ancient Olympic Games in Greece, which started in 776 BCE, were quite different from the Olympics we know today? For one, they were held in honor of Zeus, and the games included events like wrestling, boxing, and chariot racing. But here is the kicker: only men were allowed to compete, and women were not even allowed to watch. If a woman was caught watching the games, she could be punished by death. This strict separation shows the vastly different social norms of ancient Greece compared to our modern understanding of sports and inclusivity. Conclusion: a tapestry of unusual facts. So there you have it, some unusual facts from world history that showcase just how strange and varied our past can be. From wars against emus to dancing plagues, these stories remind us that history is not just about dates and events. It's filled with peculiar characters and bizarre occurrences that have shaped our world. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. What unusual historical facts do you know? Share them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.